and greetings once again. With the CCT Europe Malta finals uh, up, and we finally kind of know the matchups. Let's have a look at the groups first, and then we see what we can do with our top one performances. All right. So with the group A, with the Spirit, Honoris, and Eternal Fire and Bad News Eagles. Okay, Honoris is on an uprise. Spirit getting ready for the RMRs. Bad News Eagles still can't decide if they're good enough after the changes they made in the coaching aspect of their team. Eternal Fire is just a disappointment for all Turkish people. So if we rank up the teams in a group A, the rank one's probably going to be Spirit, rank two Bad News Eagles, and Honoris and Eternal Fire right now. I would say they equal, but Honoris is on a kind of uprise when Eternal Fire is on decline. So yes, Xantaros can pop off and just like be a one-man army, but still, it's kind of unlikely scenario. But it's always possible. Then Group B, Movistar and Sprout and Force. Sprout with Barry and just benched Valde. Force with the new lineup, probably on a honeymoon period. And Movistar, mm, from what I've heard, they've been practicing a lot and they've been really, really good at pracs. They kind of, if not destroy, then playing really, really well against like tier 1 opposition. And for this reason, they kind of seem like a favorite in this group. Although Ans, after swapping Valde, uh, maybe they're gonna be more. I don't know. I wouldn't say chaotic, but I believe they're gonna play more like on an individual level. They're gonna focus on that instead of doing some, I don't know, deep preparation or playing really tactical. I think there's gonna be like we either win 16-2 or we lose 16-3. It's probably going to be this type of performance for Ents. Sprout, as I already mentioned, they're playing with Barry, uh, which can actually give them a lot of unexpected results. Because if we look at our dear friend Barry, then is 165, which obviously says that his rating is probably not going to be that horrible. Although I was expecting him to be kind of cheaper, but in this group, Sprout, I don't really see Sprout qualifying. Uh, in this group, for some reason, I kind of have more faith in Force, surprising, than actually in Sprout doing something decent, right? Better is going to be calling like on the individual level. Yes, they potentially can go through, but in reality, with Ants, with Movistar, with Force, I don't know. This seems kind of unreal for me. So now let's just have a look at the matchups. So Team Spirit gonna play Honoris first. Eternal Fire is gonna face B and E. And again, for Team Spirit, it should be easy win. And I think Wonderful shouldn't really have too much impact in this game. But it's time for Patsy's redemption. He had a couple of very bad events. Magix is playing really well. He's grinding. He's streaming a lot on Twitch as well. So Magix is probably in really good form right now. Then on the other side we have Force against Sprout and Movistar Riders against Ents. Um, for me, despite that Movistar's gonna face Ents in the first game, I have more faith in movie stars. Even if they lose like the first game, I still have more faith in them just taking the second spot. Although And Bad News Eagles also look really decent. Um, Although, as I said already, I'm not sure if they satisfied with the results and with the changes they made in their playstyle. But because they're gonna be playing Eternal Fire, mm, most likely it should be a 2-0 win for Bad News Eagles. Eternal Fire right now is just not a team that qualified for the major. Not gonna be surprised if we're gonna see this band really soon. Because Xantaros, I don't know how long he can take this. So, two spirit plays. Martinez is probably a guy that's gonna have a lot of impact. Then probably Mobbers right now with this price for a player that potentially can do 30 bomb and in such early stage. I don't know Moppers is one of those players that for some reason had a really huge drop off from his ratings. I don't know why it was, but I believe it's worth taking him this time. And then we have 196 left, which leads us to probably a Force player because I have more faith in Force than in Sprout, and we can't really afford anyone else. So, which means that I'll have to take one of them. If we look at the ratings, and we're gonna see that they all kind of similar, but Jerry is mm, IGL. Crad is probably gonna be a supportive element of this team. Him and Jerry, they're probably gonna play together. And Result is kind of aggressive player, but if we look at the match history, he's 18, and Illumina, he's going in first, like he's been traded most of the time, and he doesn't have the best ratings, but there's always a chance to pop off. And if we look at the stats of Crad for the same time, um, very similar, very similar. Although Crad is able to, you know, get 37 kills, 26 over here, 29 here. It's kind of interesting. 1.77. Like Crad is really aggressive. 144. So if we compare these two, then Crad is probably the one to go. However, that was like tier 2. And on a tier 2, obviously, young players, they kind of sometimes drop off. So Crad is probably the way to go. So this is how my team's going to look like. Let me just do this. And Crad's probably going to be, I know what role should I give him? Mm, probably defender. Let's leave this. They're probably going to play Vertigo. Uh, or actually, they're not. They don't really play Vertigo, but still. Overpass is okay. Anubis is okay. Nuke, yes. Like Overpass, Nuke, Inferno, Overpass, Overpass. So yeah, the map was kind of set. So Anubis, Overpass, Inferno, Nuke. These 4 maps they're gonna play, and on all of those maps, I would say Crad is pretty good. So yeah, now let's try and think about the playoff stuff, right? Because this team is good enough for the groups, but then we have to think about the playoffs. And for the playoffs, this event is going all the way through, and we're gonna have 3 games in the groups, which means that 2-0 is gonna be pending, and then the losers gonna face each other, and then playoffs probably gonna be double elimination, or single elimination. Let me see. Huh. Okay. Yeah, double elimination basically. So over here, still, Spirit look like huge favorite. On the other side, we have Movistar, which I believe can be a dark horse and kind of surprise everyone by taking this. Then Ants can make a run from the lower bracket as well. If they go through, then Force probably gonna drop out. But even with that, uh, it's probably worth gambling on Force as a second team to qualify from the group. And yeah, all the way through. Let's say Spirit. The second team is going to be Force. Spirit versus Force. Spirit gonna go through. Force gonna drop down. Then over here we're gonna have most likely Bad News Eagles facing Movistar Riders, and mm, in this one again, uh, it's gonna be a really tough game. But I'm not sure if Bad News Eagles are ready, kind of, to go all in on this. They're still making the changes and adapting to them. So probably Movistar, then Movistar against Spirit, Spirit going down, Movistar dropping here, then uh, Bad News Eagles playing against Force. And this is a tough game, but in this one, maybe Bad News Eagles can edge, and then we're gonna have a rematch of Bad News Eagles against Riders, in which Riders probably gonna lose and Eagles gonna go through. At which point it not gonna really matter because Spirit should have a flawless run. Uh, that's just my fantasy. That's the way I think all the stuff gonna go through. Yes, we have Ents and Sprout, which kind of bad at this point, but still. And regarding the Group A, I'm not gonna be surprised if we're gonna see Honoris taking the second spot. Not gonna be surprised at all. So, with all this said, that's what I think, and thank you very much, and I'll see you when I see you.